Chapter 5, David. Let me see how long this chapter is. This is a short one, too. But we're 20 pages in now. My dad had just dropped me off to my first day of work. It was a grocery store called Lacey's. It was maybe a 20-minute ride from the country house, but in the city limits of my school. During my interview about 2 weeks ago, I calculated my wage and realized it would only take me 2 pay periods to pay off my senior dues. So chapter 1 through 4, it spans not even 48 hours. But there's a lot of flashbacks and recollections of memories that catch you up to where we are. But chapter 5 has a 2 week time jump. So, like, it's August. That's all I can tell you. All I had to do was bag groceries, not yell at the old white women who brought their own bags, and push carts. I don't think my dad liked me working such an easy job when I could be helping him on the supposed garden operation. But he didn't pay me to do that, and I can't graduate without my senior dues. Can you? Am I tripping? If you pass, but you don't pay the senior dues, you just graduate without all the extra stuff that you know what? I mean, I knew what I was trying to say. I just didn't say nothing. They had a funny way of making sure all the food was decontaminated after the pandemic. They didn't. All the food that came into the country had to be stamped clean, and the workers just had to trust that was true. My manager, however, did not care. He made sure everything and everyone was disinfected at all times. So much so that if you took a bathroom break and came back too fast, he would offer you hand wipes, hand sanitizer, and an ugly facial expression. As I came back from my break and clocked in, I noticed a tall, old white guy with gray hair who looked like he was giving Ellen DeGeneres competition in the dating pool, peeking over my shoulder. "Brody, this is David. He's our senior cashier," said the HR lady behind the desk. Do they say that because he's old or because he's worked here the longest? I reached out to shake David's hand, but he rudely denied my greeting. "You're the new bagger?" "There are carts to get in the lot." "What are you doing standing here, boy?" David said with a zesty, mildly racist attitude. The HR lady spoke up on my behalf and said, "Brody just got back from his break. Relax, David, he'll get to it." I wonder how David felt answering to a black woman such as our HR lady. I'm not one to pull the race card, but David's attitude towards me would be non-existent if I were, say, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, or, white. He wasn't worth my time, though. Getting carts was a workout for me, so I liked it. It was a good adrenaline release. So I went out in the lot and got as many carts as I could for the next hour because Lord knows all the slick ad hominems I could have thought of instead while I was inside the grocery store to use against David. That would have gotten me fired on my first day. As I lined up my final row of carts before the sky begins to pull a reverse Michael Jackson, David comes out into the cart corral area to drop off one of those handheld baskets in the corner near the entrance. He took a look around the area and says, "Good job." I felt like a dog. I'm just doing what is expected of me. What I would have done regardless of if he had said anything about it or not. It's like he had this preconceived perception of how I was going to behave. Like I would slack off just because I go to cookouts every summer, or because I sometimes say library instead of library. He looked at me, saw I was black, and held me to the bare minimum standard. I ultimately gave up on my Colin Kaepernick arc that was completely stuck at the drawing board once I received my paycheck. It was just $40 short of my goal. I now know the age-old quote my friend imparted upon me was true. Racist money is the best money. Okay, so that's an actual quote from my friend. One of my friends. And I really don't know what the context of it was, but I wrote it down one day. We had a quote book in high school. And I was like, I gotta incorporate this into the book. And it still don't make no sense to me, but it's in here, so it has to make some sense, I guess. As the late summer nights turn into early fall mornings, okay, so it's fall, I realized just one more week of these Jim Crow-like undertones would bury my troubles away. I have to imagine, though, my dad grew up just a decade after the civil rights movement began. This situation would literally just be sticks and stones to him. As I got prepared for school, I pondered this and realized my birthday was coming up, the big 18. Okay, so I think my character has like his birthday is the same week as my birthday is in real life, and my birthday is October 20th. So I assume chapter 5 encompasses like a whole month of me in school, but it just talks about my first day of work and what the usual day would be like with all my coworkers.